Hi, I'm Mark Zip at Crocker Farm Auction. I'm here to discuss an important example of Southern stoneware that we'll be selling in our November 3rd auction. This face jug has recently resurfaced after several decades being unknown to the general collecting community. And the interesting thing, the ironic thing is, when this piece was first introduced to the greater community of collectors, scholars, pottery enthusiasts back in 1974, it was on display at the York County Historical Society in York, Pennsylvania, which is only about 30-40 minutes north of our barn gallery. Well, lo and behold, a man walked in here one day to consign some pieces, and he hadn't even mentioned this piece. And he pulled this out, and he said, I'd like to give you this face jug. And of course, we were elated. I mean, it's a wonderful piece. And he said that there's some information on the underside about when and where it was exhibited. And lo and behold, he had found it from a Boston, he had bought it from a Boston area antique dealer sometime there in the early 1970s, and had actually given it to the York County Historical Society on loan for their exhibit in 1974. And then 40 some odd years later, it comes back to the same area. And now we're offering it in our auction. So it's just very interesting how things work. I mean, this piece was on display 6 years before I was born, and my twin brother Luke was born 2 years before Brant was born, and now it's found its way back, and we have the privilege of handling it. So it's a very interesting story, and they actually produced a great early reference book on American stoneware and redware that focused on Southern pottery at the time, which was very unusual. This is one of the first published face jugs from Edgefield, South Carolina, that we can find in any book. And the book is really nicely done. It has a lot of important pieces in it. You might be able to find it somewhere. It's called Regional Aspects of American Folk Pottery. And Brant, you might need to zoom in on this. Here is the jug. The jug itself survives in immaculate condition. A lot of these face jugs, because of the nature of applying clay to a jug, from use, from age, for whatever reason, a number of these have been found with condition issues. Sometimes they'll have parts even blown off in firing. This example is really remarkable. You can see it has this lustrous glaze on it, and has an almost like new appearance. Just has this minor chip on the spout, and some kiln residue at the base here. But as I said, a wonderful luster to the glaze. It's green at the top, and it has these beautiful brown drips underneath the nose, around the mouth, on the side of the jug, underneath the mouth. Has that classic angered or surprised expression on its face with the open mouth and the gritted teeth. Unlike most of the Edgefield face jugs you find, this example was not made with the typical kaolin that you would see. And it's not even brushed over in kaolin. You can see that it is made from a different type of clay for the teeth and the eyes, but it actually assumes a reddish hue when fired. The tragus underneath each ear is a pointed stud. It's another trait that you find on a lot of these, where they make the tragus so stylized it's just a kind of a point sticking out. Edgefield face vessels are one of the hottest stoneware items on the market today. They've received considerable interest over the last several years, and we've been fortunate enough to handle several of them over the last several years. This is a piece that virtually fell into our lap for a November 3rd sale, and it's exciting that it has recently reemerged out of the darkness and is coming back to the York area to sell in our November 3rd sale.